Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for the support you have shown so far. This is your Rebel Guru, and today we're here to talk about how to do business networking in 2021. When it comes to building a first-rate network, it has become very easy to be distracted by the mere amount of tools that we have today, due to which networking has also lost its basic component, that is human connection. Ask yourself, are you one of those guys who think that going to a business event, exchanging as many business cards would grow your business? Or do you think that having as much connections on LinkedIn or Facebook and messaging them about your ideas would grow your system? Well, sorry to break it to your friends, but that is not called as networking. That will make you think that you're doing networking, but what it actually makes you is a successful stalker. Now, you don't want to be a stalker now, do you? Of course, you already know how important it is to network for yourself and for your business. That's why you're here. And being in sales and marketing for more than 10 years, I can tell you one thing. Networking is all about keeping it really cool and simple. It's about having a heart-to-heart, a belly-to-belly conversation with another person without any secret agenda of sharing a business card or promoting your business. And for me, true networking happens when you connect with another person on a different level by sharing an experience or an idea. Now, if you accomplish that and accomplish it well, you make it easier for the other person to connect with you in the future. In this vlog, I will be telling you 6 counterintuitive steps that will help you in networking even if you are an introvert. And before we start, if you haven't subscribed the channel, then please go ahead, because I will be introducing you to some of the most amazing tactics that will make you a successful person in no time. So without taking much time, let's start. Now, there is World Wide Web full with information that tells you that when you should go to a business event, you should make a plan. Find out who is coming, who is who, research them and hand them out your business card. Well, that does sound like a great plan, as long as you don't want to be a pusher that we want to avoid. And if you're giving off that strong predator scent, then the chances are you just end up scaring off people. Instead, what you can do, as just like the great Bruce Lee once said, be like water, my friend, be like water, which means just going with the flow. And to be like water, you have to drop the flag of an agenda from your head and just see who you see and meet who you meet. Remember, networking is like a new brand of chocolate. You never know how good it's gonna be until you take a bite into it. So stop trying to predict the future and make your own path. That will help you in the long run. Now, one of the best examples I have seen so far for this is the way the Apple offices are made. They design their corridors in such a way where employees from different departments meet organically and exchange ideas. And out of these unpredictable meetings came out some of the most amazing products that we see today. So keep in mind, fellas, the best connections that you'll always make will always be organic and unpredictable. So now, if you're ready to go alone, get ready for this next step. Step 2. Start going solo. Another thing that most of the networkers will tell you is to go with a wingman. Somebody who can give you a company, who can introduce you to people. Well, that does sound like a great plan, but doesn't it show that you don't have the confidence to make it on your own? So why not let go of the wingman for once and start going solo? It will be a bit tough in the beginning, but if you follow all the steps mentioned in this video, you will be building networking skyscrapers in no time. Now I know to some of you it might be sounding a bit scary, but hey, who says that networking gonna be easy? Gather yourself because this is your future we are talking about here, and future will always have challenges. If you go with someone for some company, then you'll just end up staying in a comfort zone and miss out some of the major opportunities that are waiting for you out there. Keep in mind that networking is all about meeting new people. Now you can do that if you're hanging out with the same people. Now I know most of you must be thinking that if I go alone, wouldn't I look like someone who has no friends, someone who is a loser? Well, you might be, but only to the pushers that we want to avoid. And when you go alone, instead of standing in a corner looking into your mobile and pretending that you're all busy, go ahead to someone confidently who looks interesting to you and go with this next step. Step 3. Go ahead and interrupt. Yes, you heard me right. Learn to interrupt in the right way, and if you do it efficiently, you'll always be welcome into a conversation. One of the bright side of going solo is that you get to do it all by yourself, which is a vital component of successful networking. And if you see someone who looks interesting to you, or a group maybe, just go ahead to them confidently and say, "Hey guys, can I join you? I came alone here." Now this has worked always magically for me, because it shows that even if you came alone, you are confident enough to engage with the people. It also shows that you're not a pusher, simply because you waited for their conversation to end and then try saying what you wanted to say. Another major thing that it reflects is that you are happy to give them the power of refusal. Means they can reject your invitation if they want to. But trust me, nobody really ever does. And if you see a brave soul like yourself, then just go ahead and introduce yourself. Chances are they will be as grateful as you to be in a conversation with someone. Now the big question here is how to introduce yourself. And the answer to this is very simple. Nobody really cares. I know having a good elevator pitch is a great idea, but you're not planning to introduce your entire business in the first hello, right? Basically, there is no rule on how to contact another person. And if you're going to break the ice with phrases like "what do you do?", then you're probably gonna lead the conversation to a very boring and stale end. To avoid this, you can start by saying that, "Hi, you look like someone who has been here before. Is there anything important I should know about this place?" Another major thing that you can do is check the news an hour before the event and start with a catchy headline. That, "Hi, did you get to hear about that news?" And if you come to the point where you do want to know about them, then don't start by asking, "What do you do?" Instead, ask them, "So, what are you working on now these days?" Please remember, fellas, nobody really cares how you introduce yourself. What matters to them is what you bring to the table and how you benefit them. So next time when you're out there, just go ahead and introduce yourself and see if they are worth your time. Step 4. Don't tell them what you do. Now, one of the major principles of magnetism is that in order to get attracted, you need to be attractive. What it means, the more you focus on others, the more they will be interested in you. You must have seen, usually people like to do business with people they can count on, people they like. And you also know that it is very important to know about the other person, about their background, instead of just talking about yourself. To practice this, what you can do is talk to them about their ideas, their passions, if they have any challenges, and what they are trying to do about it. The idea is to understand what they really need and how you can be a part of it by providing them some sort of solution, or is there anyone you know that you can connect with them. As the old saying goes, you get by giving, and believe in the universal law of karma for reward you for doing so. And of course, if they ask about you, you should be open to it. But don't just tell them what you do. Instead, tell them about the people you serve. Tell them about the problem that you solve through your business or your service. Tell them how much you like doing what you do. because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Step 5. Don't use business cards. In my earlier marketing days, I used to have a box full of business cards, and after a while I started calling it one-way road, because you can get into it but you cannot come out of it. And nowadays nobody collects business cards, and even if they do, they keep it in a drawer and just forget about it. So instead of being forgotten by someone, just take out the mobile phone in your hand and ask them if they have a LinkedIn profile, and send them a direct network connection right there and then. And if you can, get it accepted as well. Or ask them if they have a Facebook or a Twitter page through which you can stay connected. It is a very unique and different way of connecting, because through social media platforms you get to see their network. Now, isn't that the sole purpose of networking? And in future you can easily communicate them with them as well by tagging them, liking or sharing their post as well. So next time when you're out there, use the technology in your hand and make a good connection on the spot. But now you have made the connection, but what comes next? Step 6. Practice consistent persuasion. Now when I say consistent persuasion, don't become a creepy guy wearing a trench coat and start stalking them. You know that, right? Remember fellas, sparkle is in the follow-up. I mean, you can't expect the deal to be done after the first meeting, right? Because that's not how networking works. Follow up quickly. Don't worry about looking too overcool or waiting for a longer period of time, but as you already told them that you were so busy. Like, tag, share them, or just bump into them while shopping. How you do it depends on the type of connection you made and the next logical step for the type of relationship you want to build. You can call it legalized stalking as long as you don't do it wearing a trench coat and a mask. Let me share with you my story how I was able to create a network. Back in 2010, when I was a beginner in sales and marketing, I had a job, but I was not able to make any sales because you can say I had lack of experience. And I know it is very soul crushing to see that you're not able to do what you're born to do. But one thing I was consistent and stubborn. And through my daily parades, I understand one thing, that you don't have to drive the entire carriage. You just have to connect with one person each journey. The point that I'm making here, that networking takes some time. You have to be patient. Just be persistent and you will slowly make the journey. The main mistake new networkers usually make is they think that they have to connect with everyone in a business event. You don't have to. Free yourself of this ridiculous pressure and focus on just making one great connection at one time. One great connection at one event is a great return and will slowly build you a network that will be helpful you in the long run. Of course, you can and should meet everyone, but don't have the pressure to connect with all of them. And with this, I will end my presentation, and I hope that it was helpful for you as it was helpful for others. If you have any suggestions, you can drop me a comment in the comment section below or write me an email on the below email ID. And once again, please do subscribe the channel, stay safe and stay tuned.